Making a Cat in the Hat t-shirt for my daughter's school celebration of Dr. Seuss. I'm gonna do it in a very inexpensive way and no need of any kind of special equipment. Just using a copy of the image, which is traced to a cardboard. Cutting my image out with my X-Acto knife. I've done some t-shirt image transfers on t-shirts with this special paper that I bought from Hobby Lobby. And it was pretty easy. I just printed that image that I wanted to use on my printer. I cut it out and then I just ironed it onto my shirt. But currently her printer is out of ink completely and it is pretty pricey. So I had to find a way around it. So this might not be the easiest or the quickest way, but definitely the cheapest. And well, I don't really think it took too long either. I got one of my daughter's old plain white t-shirts. Got my traceable or my stencil. And a piece of cardboard. I put that cardboard inside of the t-shirt just so the paint doesn't bleed to the back. And I set my homemade cardboard stencil on top of the shirt. I really wanted to use up my red fabric spray paint that I had. There was just a little bit left, and so I did. But I think I would probably be better off to use some red paint and just a sponge instead. But it's okay. Sometimes those little mishaps turn out into something even better. You're just spraying that first coat. I only did a couple of coats. applying my second coat and my final coat, and that's when, so my little mishap was that a little bit of paint went underneath of the cardboard, my stencil, let's say, just because it's not sticky, it's not very flat, and can be a little challenging. So there was just a little bit of mist and just a couple of spots under the stencil. So I wasn't really happy with it. So I was trying to think how I was gonna fix it. And so I kind of came up with even a better solution, I believe. And this is how I fixed my little issue. I decided to use my splatter brush and create a bunch of splatters or stars. I used two acrylic paints. I used red one and white. And I had to thin them out with some water. And I show right here how thin I had to make it for the splatters to work. This is a really nice brush, and I've used it a lot on my canvas paintings, but I just used to use a regular toothbrush in the past to create those stars or splatters, or just even two paint brushes. You just kind of hit one against the other to create those splatters. So there are different ways to get those done. But I just added a bunch of red ones and white ones all over the shirt, and I think, well, it fixed the problem, and I think it also, the shirt looks even more fun. So like I mentioned before, it's probably better to use some paint and a sponge for the cardboard stencil instead of a spray paint, but it still worked. It's all dry and looks pretty good, especially considering what went into the making.